Welcome to part 3 of the Mix It Up Masterclass. This episode is for the Commands tab. If you missed a previous channel tab, I suggest you check it out by clicking right here. Let's get into it. Welcome to part 3 of the Mix It Up Masterclass. I am Obi-Bit Kenobi, and today we're looking at the Commands tab. Before we go into that though, I want to show you this. So if you've got a user here or over here, you can right click them, user info, or just right click it, pop up, and then you've got this edit user section. Now in here, you can add a command that is solely for that user. Only that user, if you make a command in here, can use that. So for instance, I know Vanderlei has he has a command art that only he can. I can't even use that command. I can test it, but I can't use it in chat. Now, and then underneath is a custom command entrance. So you've probably been in a stream before where someone's entered and maybe a song played or some chat thing came up. If you have a look, we've got edit, we've got a chat. So when he comes in, it says Art Vanderlei to the Jedi Temple, blah blah blah. And then also, if you have a look, he's got a sound, and so it's like an advanced command, but it only works for him when he comes in an entrance, and then obviously he has his own chat thing. You could also edit other things, but I won't go into that really, because this is just for the commands. So that's one way of doing commands. The other section is in the commands tab. Now in the commands tab, you've got pre-made commands and custom-made commands. So these pre-made commands, they are all built in to Mix It Up. So these, you will all have these, they will all be the same. And so what it does is it gives you the command name, so you can title it. This will be titled anything, and then you got the command, so the actual command syntax that you type in chat. Obviously you put the exclamation mark first and then add command. Then you can set permissions. So the permissions, like any other bot, is exactly the same. So you got channel editor or you got streamer, and it goes in hierarchy. So if I select subscriber, everybody above that has permission. So the subscriber has permission, mod, staff, and streamer all have permissions. If I select a low one, then obviously more people can. Then you have an individual timer. So cooldown, play button to test it, and this is a toggle on and off. So you'll notice some of these are toggled off. So Xbox game toggled off. So when I put Xbox game in chat, that command won't work because these can't be edited. These are standard. You can toggle them on and off and they'll just work however they are set in Mix It Up. But if you want a custom version, then you need to turn it off to make your custom command, because if you don't, one will overwrite the other and the other one won't work, or both won't work. If you go to the custom commands, then you have this section where you have a button that says new commands. This is split, again, I would say, into 3 sections. You've got basic chat, basic sound, you've got an advanced button, and download from Mix It Up. Right, so if you click on that one, on Just Think, this is basically just a chat command. You can give user permissions, you can set a cooldown straight away, you can put that, again, you don't need, like it says, no need for the exclamation mark when you actually type one in, because this bot automatically adds it to it in the background. So you would just put pop, and in chat you would have to put exclamation mark pop. You can send it as a streamer. So at the moment this would send it as my bot. So Skywalker bot would say whatever you put in chat, like that. If you target to send a streamer, it would say Obi-Bit Kenobi says that in chat. You can have it whispered to you or optional to a certain user. And the special identifiers, if you click that, it will bring up the GitHub website for this. And you can have a look through all this and get all your syntax that you can use. So this Ember amount, if you put that into the chat thing, it will come up with example how many Embers are being spent and stuff like that for a user. Okay. Put that over there. So that is the basic chat. You also have basic sound. It's the same thing. You just add a sound, and then you can choose which which is great. You can choose which audio it goes through. So then in OBS, you can choose that. You can set it separately to every other audio if you want to change volume. So you could have all your mix it up commands with sounds to a different volume to everything else because it's on a slightly different thing. And you can set the volume in here if you don't want to control it in OBS. Sound path file and everything else the same. I recommend all commands that you do, though, always use advanced command. And the reason why is if you do just a chat command, yeah, or just a basic sound command, either one, in the future, if you want to add something to that command, so you just did a basic command, in the future, like, you know what would be really good? A sound with it or a picture. You'd have to delete the command and make a new one. Where if you selected just this version, advanced commands, you have this and you could stack. So you could just have your chat command, and then in the future, you could go, you know what, I want to add an overlay, and I'm going to add that underneath, and I'm going to select an image for it. So that gives it the extra future ability to do. Now, so the command name, this is just for you for when you're, this section is for your filing, basically. So call it whatever you can remember. It doesn't affect the command. So I'm going to put a test, because that's the test. Now, the command group, you've got wherever, if you've made any. If you're not, it'll just be, ungrouped. But I'm going to put a test, and this will basically make a new group called test under here. Now, the chat trigger, again, this, look, it's got the auto include, so it auto includes, so you don't need, if you turn that off, you will have to put that command. But you might as well just leave it on, and then it's all the time. You don't forget if you've done it on certain things or not. So this one, we're going to put test. So exclamation test in chat will set this command. In the chat section, I'm going to set it as streamer. I'm going to put the chat messages. This is a testy test. And that's it. We can set the user permissions. I'm not going to, but again, if I put a subscriber, everyone above that can use this, but everyone below it can't. So on the timer section, you've got group, individual, and per person. So per person is self-explanatory. Each person that presses that button, it'll give it a cooldown. So anybody else can still use that command after. So you could have test by 5 users, and it'll just keep doing it. Or you can set it to individual, which is not an individual person. It's an individual to this command. And then you can put 30 seconds. So just this command is then called down. And then you have group. Now, the group isn't like a group of people, even though it says everyone. The group, I think, is actually one of these groups. So if you select that and put it on to 60 seconds, everyone in that group, which everyone is actually the command. I don't know why it does it this way. Everyone should change to that. So next up is the user threshold. So this basically, if you want a command, say like a skip button for Spotify, you can set, so you can put this on 5 people have to press skip, or 5 people have to press test before the command is actually works, and you can set it for 30 seconds. So 5 users have to press skip, and they've got 30 seconds to do it to skip the actual song. And then in the settings, you can use this. Now, I mentioned this in the first Mix It Up Masterclass. If you didn't select in the settings that I showed you to delete all commands, because you can set it so every command that put in then deletes it to stop spamming the chat and that. But what I suggested is I don't like to do it. I like to do it individually here. So if I put this in chat, only this one gets deleted, the others can still be visible, or I can just leave it and toggle it on. The reason I do this is because then if I use this command and I want other people to see the command because I want to use them, say like follow each. If you have follow each deleted, you can have people in chat that might be new or not know or have forgotten, and they'll go, how do I check how long I've been following for? So basically, this way, it shows them commands. If you select to delete all, then you're not going to see all the commands. They're going to be asking in chat how to do it, and then it can just get complicated. So that's why I do it that way. So you can send as a streamer, again, Whisper, and all that. Now the overlay. So this now, we can add an image. So let's add an image. Welcome Rebels. We'll set it to 1920 by 1080. We'll set it for 5-second cooldown. Not 5 seconds. It will be on the screen for 5 seconds. It's 1920 by 1080, which is the canvas size of my entire stream, because I stream at 1080. And then you've got the percentage or pixels, or you just simple. If you're going to select the whole screen, just keep it in the middle, because if you put it up there, it's going to be a bit weird. And then you can have a fade in, fade out. If you want a custom animation of how it comes in and out, there's loads to choose from. And you can have a little visible animation. So if you have it pulse, it will just pulse a little bit on the screen, probably once in a 5-second period. And then you can save. But before that, remember, you've got your default user, default overlay. Now, I did mention this before. You can create a separate one. So we're going to create one just specifically for this. This is so if you want to create have it a different size to everything else in here, or move it around, or whatever you want to do, you can do that. So what you do is you click on it, and it'll open up this. Copy. And get ready for that. So then what you do is you go into OBS, like so. Minimize that so you don't get too inception. Click the plus button in OBS or XSplit. Click browser. We'll put this as test. Okay. Paste that source in there, and then change this to the same. So 1920 by 1080p. Now on this, shut down and refresh. This is any sources that are coming in outside of OBS. I find sometimes can be a bit glitchy, like they just don't work. So what you have to do is use the eye, toggle it on and off to refresh it. Or if you just toggle them too, it sometimes does help a lot. So it works instantly. So do that, press OK. That's got the red box, so it shows that it is using full screen. You can lock it so you don't move it around. And then that's ready for the overlay almost. So now what you do is you have to go back out, escape, go back to your command, go to edit, go to your overlay, drop down, test. So now you've got a test overlay, which is linked to OBS, and save that. So now we got all that set up, we can test it. So if we press this play button and just quickly drag OBS over, you can see that we have that. It pulses then and disappears back. It faded in, it faded out. Also, if you've got the overlay open still, you can actually see it in that window too, which I can test right here. So you can see it right there, and it's pulsing. So it shows you that that's working, and then disappears. Close that. So yeah, so that gives you the flexibility of in the future adding more stuff. So you can add more stuff. You can add text to speech in here. You can add a Twitter little command. You can add a web request into chat. You can have it read and write to different files and stuff if you want to. You can add all these can go into this command, which is fantastic. But again, if you only created a chat, you wouldn't be able to add these. You'd have to delete it and make a new command. So anyway, that's that. That's saved. So the third option is to download by pressing command here, new command, download a command that's already been made by other users directly from the Mixitup servers. So if you click on this, it goes to the Mixitup store. You can then search for what you need using pretty much simple. I wouldn't go too complicated. If you want to shout out, just put shout out. If you want something to do with chat, just put chat, and then dono, member. Or you can just quickly have a look in this section. So let's get a shout out command. Yeah, they're quite popular. Everybody likes a shout out. And this one is had a lot of downloads, so it must be good. So then you click download, and what this does, it'll ask you if you want to download the asset, so the sounds or images that comes with it. So click yes, drop it where you want. I'm just going to put it in my G drive. Okay, so that's downloading the files, and as you can see, there you go. It's a large command with lots of overlays, so it'll automatically go to default. You can change these, you can tweak all this, you can check what images it's going to do, you can browse and see what it looks like. You can change the sizes, change all this, you can tweak everything. But basically, so what this is doing is it's got an overlay there, and it's an image. And the second overlay is text. So text directly on the screen is going to say the target user's name. And then the avatar. So they're using different overlays so they can move. Like I said, use different overlays if you want to move them around. They are using these for different lines. So that one's going to be on top of that one. So this will be underneath. So the next line will be then go give that username. And then the next line will be a huge follow. And then the same find them at the target URL. Go follow them. That goes directly to chat. And then it's going to wait 2 seconds. And then this sound will play to get everyone's attention going, hey, listen, I'm guessing. And that'll be on your hard drive wherever you saved it. So that's another way. And you can test this because this will be on default. So you can go, that's what, I didn't save it yet. So you have to save it. You have to put the command in, whatever commands you're going to have to put in. And then you're going to have to add, what group it's going to go in, add all your cooldowns and stuff like that. Press save. And then it's on the default. Like I said, it's on the default at the moment. So that'll automatically, if you've followed my advice and already put the default into your OBS instantly, that will work straight away and it'll be set up nicely. So that is it for the commands tab. So I've shown you can do it directly per user. Commands for when they enter the stream, personal commands. Again, you can add single commands, advanced commands, and download commands and overlays. So next up, I did say this last tutorial is the mix play. I do apologize if everybody's confused. Before I was doing mix play this one. So the next one will be mix play. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If this has helped you, don't forget you can hit that subscribe button. You can share this, like it, comment, give me feedback. Honestly, it really helps. Any kind of feedback, positive or negative, as long as it's constructive, it's fine. And I'll see you in the next Mix It Up Masterclass. May the Force be with you.